Hello, today we're going to be looking at the LulzBot SL 0.25mm toolhead. SL stands for small layers, and this toolhead is for doing high resolution detailed parts. The new range of LulzBot extruders are of course based on the E3D Titan Aero, and you can see the heatsink there, which is one machined part and makes up the other half of the extruder body. That's also the cold end, and of course it has the fan mounted on. We've got the heat block at the bottom there and another fan for cooling with a shroud that sends air all the way round. We're going to be fitting this toolhead to the LulzBot Mini 2 3D printer. There's also an adapter plate available if you want to fit it to a TAZ 6, but it should fit on the latest generation of LulzBot printers. To swap the extruder, first of all we need to remove the cable cover with these 3 screws. Next, unplug the cable harness and remove these 2 screws and one at the back. The new toolheads can then be put back in exactly the same place. With the new extruder fitted, all we need to do is update the printer firmware, and we can do that with the LulzBot edition of Cura. Just go to lulzbot.com/Cura and download the latest version for your choice of platform, add in the correct printer with the correct toolhead and click on install firmware, and that will install the firmware over USB straight into the printer. And then we can get right on with printing. So I found this Superman bust on my Mini factory that looks pretty good, and I've put that into Cura and sliced it up. So we've basically got a quality here set to 0.1mm. We could go lower than that, we could go to ultra high detail, which is 0.05mm, but basically the prints take about 4 times longer. So our shell is going to be 1mm and our infill is going to be 10%. And this print should print with no support material, which is pretty good, so it doesn't mess the print up. And that's what the slice looks like. So let's stick that on the printer with the SD card and see what happens. It's going to take 17 hours. Finished print, I forgot to note the actual time it took, but you'll have noticed about halfway up it was on 10 hours. So I think 17 hours was pretty accurate. And again, that's on a 0.1mm layer height. We could go twice as low and get twice the resolution, but you'll see there's an incredible amount of detail in there. And I'm trying to hold it in the light there. You can virtually not even see the build lines, and you certainly can't feel them. On the back there's a smoother surface. But again, it almost, I don't know if you can see the build lines there. If I look at it really close with my eyes, it looks like they're almost under the surface. So very hard to see the build lines. So that is an exceptional amount of detail. And I don't do a lot of detailed prints in my channel generally. Generally I block in big parts. The Morse extruder is one of my favourite things with a 1.2mm nozzle and around a 0.8mm layer height instead of a 0.1 that we've got in this, or a 0.05 in fact if you wanted to go to higher quality. So I'm pretty impressed with this for an FDM print. And I also printed another piece, so this is a He-Man I got off my Mini factory as well, and I'll put that link in the description. I'll put both of the links in fact in the description. But yes, that of course has an incredible amount of detail as well. So I printed these parts fairly large, just so we can see that, but of course if you were to print something tiny like tiny chess pieces as one of the LulzBot examples, then you'll see you still get that incredible amount of detail. Whether you're into desktop wargaming, 3D printing dioramas, or just 3D printing really good quality benchies to put on the 3D printing subreddit, it looks like it's quite feasible to do that with an FDM 3D printer. I've got more reviews coming up for LulzBot toolheads, including the hardened steel toolhead, so I can print abrasives, including carbon fibre, so don't forget to subscribe for more updates on that, and of course all the other 3D printing projects in my channel. Alright, that's all for now.